Southside Substation. This Officer Ellis. How can I help you?
Yes, my name, your name is Officer Edwards.
Ellis, yes, ma'am.
Ellis, can I have your badge number?
It's going to be 10637.
Okay, can I give you a report number?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Okay, one moment, let me get that for you. Okay, that report number is 142240-2022.
Get the last one. 1422.
40-2022.
All right. How can I help you, ma'am?
Yes, what happened with that report? An investigator never called me back.
The investigation should be coming back. Can't give you really a time frame exactly when they gonna call.
Oh, because I haven't had one for years, and I don't understand if there's child abuse and I'm repetitively false statements were made to a family court. Who investigates this? I'm trying to get to the bottom of who's denying the investigation exactly, because hindering the case is criminal. It's a Class A misdemeanor to cover for child abuse. Interference with child custody is a felony.
Okay.
So who investigates that? Because I haven't been able to get to the bottom of it for years. It's obvious false statements made to a family court, and I'm being deprived of any right and knowledge on why my rights were sabotaged as a parent. And they're blaming it on the dad. But if they're blaming it on him, and he said that he don't know why he did it, went up there and made false statements to the family court. So that would be
Right.
perjury, but I don't know why the court, the police department, CPS, and multiple parties would cover for the dad. He's not a wealthy man. Who did someone upset? Where multiple parties consistently keep covering for these crimes and committing felonies on their own, and even sicker, why are they still getting away with it? So I'm trying to pinpoint who's the problematic party, because we're talking about 70 something reports and going up.
Mhm.
Who's supposed to investigate the false statements made to the family court?
In regards to family court, it's gonna be for you, possibly mostly if it's in regards to say dealing with your child, correct, ma'am?
Right, the false statements were made. There's child abuse.
Okay.
There is obvious lies. Obvious.
Okay. So the investigators, I believe that everybody has your contact information. If you provide them, you've been provided with a case number and all. So if you have a case number with your telephone number and also your email address, the investigator will contact you through there.
Okay, so that hasn't happened for years. So is it the police's fault? Because you said that investigator was supposed to contact me back. Dozens of reports, 30 something with CPS.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to get clarity, sir. I'm just trying to get clarity, because if you are a legitimate police officer, it should be inexcusable for dozens of reports for child abuse and interference for child custody to get ignored. 30 something reports to CPS if people are actually abiding by the law.
Right.
So my life and my daughter's life has been violated ever since she witnessed my false arrest 2018 screaming in terror. And then multiple parties have concocted schemes to keep me away from her ever since.
Okay.
So, but here's the thing. So you're saying the investigators, it's their fault because they're refusing investigation? It's the investigators' fault?
I'm not saying nobody's fault. I said they should be contacted.
They're not. It's happened 4 years ago. She witnessed my false arrest screaming in terror in a scheme. Okay?
Have
So,
you got in contact?
sir, we're deflecting. We've talked before. Let's get to the bottom of who is at fault. Okay, so she witnessed my false arrest screaming in terror. Okay, ever since then, multiple parties have been scheming. I reported it multiple times. I was detained at this very precinct for reporting it. They thought I was mentally ill for reporting child abuse. And they arrested me at the Texas Rangers. They just said forget it and arrested me from reporting my abuse there and handcuffed me at the FBI. So I'm trying to figure out, obviously, I don't think that they came into contact with anybody. The only thing that I can think about is this stalker that you guys keep protecting. But I'm trying to figure out where is the disconnect to why all these 70-something reports aren't getting investigated. If it's easily provable, why are you allowed to keep me away from my child illegally year after year and don't even furnish a reason behind doing it? That's pretty sick and corrupt. Deprive me of any advocacy, period, CPS anywhere on the planet, even church, and consistently keep getting away with it. So I'm trying to figure out if I could get an attorney and not talk to the scammers, do I need to sue you guys, CPS, or maybe all parties? You there?
I'm here, ma'am. I was just listening. I'm listening and seeing if you want me to speak or not.
Yes, I'm trying to get a resolution on what's going, and I, wanted to get something accomplished because I never did with my son. I never did, and our relationship is still at a disconnect. I had a legal custodial agreement, and the police would not enforce it, and they kept covering for it and detaining me detained me at the Texas Rangers when I reported that my daughter's abuse and my abuse.
All right. Have you went to the child custody courts lately now?
I want to get to the bottom because you said it was the police. The child custody, the court is aware of it and is covering for it. They wouldn't have let me appear at multiple court dates. And when they wouldn't show up, I'm telling you, you need to know that they're committing a crime. Sir, tamper with evidence is a felony. At multiple different court dates on October 26th, when I was supposed to see her on the weekends out of the corruption, they deprived me of seeing her, talking to her, or having any contact. I reported that to the court. The court covered for it and wouldn't even let me appear at my court date. That's a reoccurring pattern. Multiple court dates, people will deprive me of the right to appear at.
Tell you from seeing your daughter?
You asked about the court, and now you're interrupting me trying to tell you. The corruption is at a very high scale. Have you ever heard of courts denying a person their constitutional right to appear at their court date? Multiple in different locations. So I think the disconnect is because I can't find anyone that abide by the law. And it is the law that won't abide by the law, which should be scary for a multitude of parties. But for years, I have been searching, getting assaulted, getting arrested, violated, trying to find someone that abide by the law in law enforcement and have not been able to find it, period.
All right. Okay,
so you did ask about the court. I was trying to communicate to you that the court did not let me appear at my court date in 2018. Then some kind of mysterious judge took my child custody rights away. They can't get their story straight on what happened. They claim the dad went up there and did a restraining order. Then the CPS worker did it. When he incriminated himself, he pulled out of it. He told me, I'm taking your rights away. He came up to the jail and said, I said it's on body cam footage. He lied and said it was because I assaulted the police and evaded arrest. I said, review the body cam footage. I didn't do that. He kept covering for it. Then when he incriminated himself, he evaporated all the way out the picture like magic and never existed. Then they put stepmom and dad up to doing it. Now relentlessly protecting them, trying to cover for them doing something illegal with the child support payments so they can have a little cushion because they're helping them get away with their crimes. So since they're helping them get away with their crimes, they want to be a little bit more polite and do something that's strange, give him a child support payment so we're both receiving child support at the same time, which is really odd. But when you're the government and you're committing crimes, you kind of get away with it. So we both are getting child support. Have you ever heard of that, sir?
No, ma'am. I'm not familiar with that.
I've never heard of two of the parents getting child support at the same time. That's pretty unusual. Normally they take it from the rearage, but my life isn't normal. So we both are getting child support. Okay. And then they have concocted that I owe $1,000. But what I'm trying to get is so we won't have to keep going through this years. Do you think you guys are ever going to get your charges? Am I ever going to see my daughter? Are you just going to do this forever? Am I ever going to get law enforcement, or am I denied it forever? Am I ever going to call the real people on the phone I'm paying service for? Or is this for the rest of my life? I'm going to speak with counterfeits, con artists that cover for everything year after year. Are my relationships going to routinely get violated for the rest of my life? Am I ever going to be allowed to date and move on with my life? Or is everything going to consistently get sabotaged forever? Will you guys ever get your charges?
Nothing is forever, ma'am.
Well, I'm sure hoping so, because this went on long enough. So what do you think that if I miss my daughter dearly, what am I supposed to do? You guys have been committing crimes for a very long time. So do I just come in and play this game again and report the interference with child custody because I didn't see her again? When are you going to even pretend like you're investigating the interference with child custody crimes? Are you going to pretend?
We don't pretend over here, ma'am.
Yeah, no, you're right. You just haven't been doing it. But it would be better for me if you at least pretended. No, you haven't been pretending at all. You just denied it altogether.
I'm just saying what you just said. You said.
Right. It would have been better if you would have pretended, and then at least we could have had that hope that you were trying this time and trying to abide by the law, and then let me down like usual. But I mean, now you guys don't even pretend. You just don't investigate. Period. So now the con is that I have to wait on the investigator.
Yes, ma'am. The investigator will contact you with more information.
How long does it take? That was last week.
Again, investigators will contact you for more information.
And then in addition to that, it's been years. I did get finally assigned Detective Perez, but it was hard because he kept cutting me off and covering for the crimes and would let me report what was going on. And he's a detective. So if he's a detective working on the case and wouldn't let me speak to cover for it. I'm sorry?
Contact the investigation. There's detective units that can be able to.
I'm sorry, I didn't. Okay, so who do I report the crimes that the police are committing? You can't report it in 2022. I mean, you can't report any crimes that the government does because I've been trying to report it for years and it's been unsuccessful. Just getting assaulted, arrested, violated, handcuffed, mistreated, bullied. So it's impossible to report criminal activity that the government is behind?
So I'm trying to understand, man. First you saying you need help about your daughter, now you're talking about the police.
It's not gonna. What benefit is it going to do if I'm reporting my daughter and you guys keep covering for it in the courts and everybody else? If you're so corrupt, you deprive me of my right to go to court. I have to try to figure out how I can get you guys out the way, all the criminal activity, and you guys losing your mind for whatever's going on with you guys. I mean, just obvious thefts, stalked. You guys have really went too far. That's why you cover for everything. And I can't even tell a majority of these people what's going on. But a person that was caught in the act, he said that police told me to do this. That's how I realized you guys were behind it. And that's why you kept covering up for it. The harassment, the threats, you guys are behind terrorizing government witnesses. The government. So that's, I was wondering why you guys just refused, and I was begging and begging for my life. Did you think I was petty? What was going on? No, you set it up. That's why all these parties would always cover for the police and get mad when I said something about the police because they were covering for you. You set it up. That's why you want to investigate 70-something reports. You did it. But if you can go to businesses and say, I'll need you to rob her, take her money, abate $30,000, overcharge her, do all this chaos, keep her change, and they do it. If you can go to my cell phone providers and say, hey, I need you to cover for our crimes, enforce that she speaks with these counterfeits for us, and they do it, a multitude of them. If you can say, cut her phone off when we tell you to, and they do it, and I'm paying the phone bill, and in fact, that same month paid it 2 times, it never got a refund for the additional payment. Whoever I was talking to was so corrupt, they lied and said I didn't make that payment, and I did. This has been going on years, sir, so I'm just hoping that something does change. I miss my daughter. What am I supposed to do when you guys are enforcing that I don't see her out of corruption? My phone's malfunctioning. Hello?
I'm here, ma'am.
What do you suggest that I do because you guys are denying law enforcement and I miss my child?
I already gave you the answer. You need to go in talk to an investigator that is leading the investigation.
Well, don't I need to keep reporting it? Don't I mean even though you guys keep covering for it each week that I don't get my visitation? Because if I keep reporting, it makes it harder for you guys to cover for it, right?
When's your visitation?
It's supposed to be today.
All right. Have you got in contact with your child's father?
Yes, I've been sending them texts. It's a whole part. The family place FLP that you guys set up not to deprive me of services. Multitude of people are depriving me. They're supposed to be investigating why my rights are being violated, and I'm on supervised visits. I'm trying to inform you what's going on with family FLP. All the conspirators and the interference with child custody crimes is a felony. So family FLP on the supervised visits won't do their part to make sure the dad is held responsible for not doing the supervised visits because they're covering for it too. So they're depriving me of services that the state's the judge set up for the supervised visits to cover for the dad not doing his part. It's too many people involved. So I called the police on the family place. You guys refuse to investigate why they're depriving me of the services they provide for the supervised visits. That way the dad could be incriminated because he's not doing his part, but the family place won't do their part to cover for the dad. But not only will they not do their part, the court won't, or you, or CPS. So what my daughter has had breakdowns, meltdowns. We were very close to do. Does anyone care? Why would they deny her what is it called? Have I talked to my lawyer? They deprived me of the check to see if she was safe, of the welfare check. So you're recommending that with all these crimes going on, talk to a lawyer?
No, in regards to the custody battle, no.
I thought in the state of Texas they were required to give you a court-appointed attorney. They forced me to represent myself because no attorney would back them in that chaos. And I tried to pay an attorney. I'm trying to give you evidence. You asked and you keep covering up for the crime, sir. It makes it difficult. Okay. So with an attorney, they forced me to represent myself because no self-respecting attorney would have anything to do with the chaos you guys are doing. All right, so let me finish. You just asked for the attorney. Now, why are you covering up for crimes? So then I tried to pay an attorney. You guys keep getting in the way and enticing these attorneys to not give me representation. I'm sorry?
Is there anything else I can help you?
Why would you ask me questions and then when I give you the answer, not want to hear the answer and cover for them? Are you a police?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if every police that I consistently call for years keeps covering up for crimes, what am I supposed to do? I asked you that. Am I supposed to just get accustomed to not having law enforcement forever and then let you guys abuse your power to prevent me from having relationships even with my own children?
Okay.
Why wouldn't you investigate what had my sister terrified and why she didn't get her mail, or why she wouldn't give me my mail? You there?
I'm here now.
Look up the report when I tried to investigate. My sister wouldn't give me the mail when I wrote all those people all over the United States and civil rights activists. I did a campaign. I did a lot of work and gave that address out because I was homeless. I bought a whole bunch of stamps, had a notebook, printed out a whole bunch of copies, and mailed out a lot of mail, and I didn't get one piece of mail. Can you tell me what happened when I reported that my sister wouldn't give me my mail and the post office? When she wouldn't give me the mail, I put multiple holes. They would not honor the holes, so I called the police on the post office. And you guys wouldn't take reports for my sister or the post office. So I have to keep continuing to live in all this chaos and cover up to where you're so corrupt you even deprive a citizen of her right to mail?
All right, ma'am. Is there anything else I can help
just letting me vent is not a solution. I want law enforcement. Am I ever going to get it? Isn't that your responsibility to protect and serve? Why would you deprive someone of that? Isn't that criminal? Well, I thought it was a crime to deprive a citizen of their right to law enforcement.
Mainly, Ms. Clark, is me and the police officer. I had to say that I'm supposed to prevent crime, not commit a crime, okay? So if I'm a part of an organization or a group that is committing a crime, I wouldn't be a part of it.
Well, you are, because where are the
Okay.
70-something reports? What are you going to do about the interference with child custody? Are you at the office now? I can bring you this.
I already basically gave you the answer, ma'am. If you're not happy with it,
I haven't had an investigation so you are part of the crime. Are you at the department now?
Okay.
I can bring you the custody agreement that was derived out of criminal activity. I have the recording where he said he didn't know why I didn't have access to my daughter. In addition to that, I have the paperwork where they went up there and did a restraining order. So if you abide by the law, what are you going to do? Because they haven't been for years. Why would you guys protect them with such a vengeance? And why did James Hastings disappear after he came up there multiple times taunting me, telling me I wasn't going to see my daughter and he was taking her away? How did he just disappear? Along with payments and money that I'm supposed to get. You said he hung up. He's not on the phone. It would be the little phone. He's not there.